All right. Hello, everybody. It looks like we are live, or I am live. How's it going? So welcome today. Welcome to this lesson that I'm going to share with you. This is going to be a standing lesson. It's really simple and one of those lessons that really taps into your kinesthetic sense, so your sense of yourself, that part of your nervous system that wants to feel your body, wants to know where you are, and gets a sense of safety from being able to feel those things clearly. And when you feed that part of your nervous system, then it's like it relaxes for you. And a lot of the tension that we can experience in our lower extremities or even in our shoulders, in our upper body, can be relieved just by simply nourishing that part of ourselves and giving it that opportunity to relax. It's like it's feeding it. So wherever you are today, hello. It's nice to see you. Say hello in the comments below. And maybe if you feel like you want to share what's going on with you specifically, I might be able to give you some further tips or ideas for how to take this further after today. You will want to remove your shoes. So whenever you're ready to do that, you can do that. Like I said, this is a standing lesson, but if you can't stand right now for whatever reason, you can do this. You can do a kind of version of this that would be just as beneficial by coming and sitting at the edge of your chair and kind of simulating weight going onto one foot and the other over the prop as we're going to use it. And you'll see how to go along with it as I go through the lesson. Good morning from British Columbia. Hello. All right. So here we go. What you need is a prop today. So something, I'm going to use a yoga mat. And you can use a towel or a blanket. A thinner blanket is better, and you'll want to use it rolled up. So something like this. And it doesn't have to be a thin yoga mat. It could, it's really doesn't have to be exactly like mine. So whatever you've got, if you need a second to go grab that, I'll just let everybody have a second to go grab that. Look, it's saying, maybe if I go here, I can see. So if you guys want to leave a comment, that's fine. If you want to, ask me a question or say anything, that's great. In fact, it's more than fine. It's awesome. I love it. I love to get those highs even on replays. But because I'm going through StreamYard, I won't be able to see who you are. And if that matters to you, you'll just have to do that thing where you accept for StreamYard to see you. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. I'll still see your comment. I just won't know who you are. Okay, great. So if you're ready, let's get started. So you want to remove your shoes. You can do that and get that, bare foot or socked foot. It's a bit cold for bare feet where I'm at anyway. And if you're sitting down, just come to the edge of your chair, put your feet firmly on the ground. And I'll just say this, for all of the lessons that we do in standing, or in fact in any position, there's this really amazing thing that your body can do, which is to translate information into different positions, into different situations. If you, what's the word? I can't think of the word. I keep thinking the word alteration. That's not the right word. Anyway, so if you do it to the best approximation, maybe that's what it is, approximately as close to the lesson as possible, sometimes what you can do is just approximate the principles. So if we're working with balance and playing with balance over our limbs over our 2 feet and legs in standing, you can do that similarly over your sits bones in sitting. And it's the same idea. Your body is still processing information about bearing weight through your skeleton with your muscles at play. And that, what it learns in balancing, it will carry into standing, walking, it'll carry into other positions. So just want to kind of put that out there for those of you that need to maybe do some of this lesson in sitting. Okay. All right. Should we begin? You guys ready? First of all, you can start just by standing. So I'm going to move myself back a little bit so you can see me, and hopefully you'll still be able to hear me because I've got a mic on. So let's see if I can get the right angle here. And so go ahead and stand in your space without any prop or anything. And just take a few moments to settle into a standing position that's comfortable. And I find immediately, as soon as I start to go quiet or still, my mind starts to judge my body and what I'm perceiving. I start to think, oh, I'm doing this wrong or I'm doing that wrong, even now to this day. So let those things just come to the surface and float away, and don't let yourself get attached to any judgments or any thoughts about what you perceive. We're just staying with the act of sensing. So you want to find what feels comfortable. That's what you're going for. And that might mean that you make some adjustments. It might mean that you start with your feet a little bit further apart, and then you want to adjust to make them farther, and then you think, oh, that's not actually what I want, so you move them a bit closer, and you find something that's comfortable for you, as close to comfort as you can find it, even if standing isn't completely comfortable for you. Stillness is more difficult than movement for the body. That's why meditation is in stillness. It requires another level of concentration. So you're entering into that. Let your arms hang softly at your sides. Have a soft bend in your knees if that's possible for you. And just begin to feel the movement in stillness. You can always make slight adjustments. You can always sit down if you need to, have a walk. Walking is restful. If you continue to be okay in stillness and standing, tune into where your feet touch the ground and how. So, where do you press? More on the inner borders, more on the outer borders. Can you feel all 10 toes? Do your toes feel invisible in your perception? Or can you feel them? And for me, in stillness and standing, there's definitely some tension between slightly different positions. And I'm just feeling that tension and continuing to invite relaxation into my body. So maybe there's a micro adjustment here or there that I make as I'm continuing to invite relaxation into my body. So just notice where your stance is. Notice if you have any judgments about that. Let it go, and then start to shift your weight gently over onto one foot, a bit more, and then to the middle place, and go back to that side. So we're just going to one side for now, shifting your weight over onto one side. And this will look differently for everybody. Just enough so that you feel like your weight is fully on that leg or fully on that sits bone if you're sitting down. Okay, pause in the middle. Is there any change? Slight, maybe. Now go to the other side. Just bring your weight over to the other side. And as you do that, you might notice how your whole body reorganizes and shifts, right? Your pelvis moves, your head moves in space. Just feel that weight coming over that other leg and how your foot can be wide and accept the weight of your body. Your leg, your foot can accept that weight. And then come back over both feet to the middle place. Has anything changed for you? And then take a walk. So you can have a walk around if you need. You can have a seat and pause there. Yes, I can see you, Marcia. Hi, welcome. Glad you're here. I'm glad you're all here. Notice as you walk around how you're doing the same thing you were just doing standing. You're shifting your feet. You're shifting your weight from one leg to the other, but you're moving forward in space. So there is a slightly different dynamic, but it's the same idea. Okay, now come and grab your prop, whatever you're going to use. Now, for some of you, you might want to have something like a chair or to put your prop up against a wall. So, because we're going to be doing, walking on it. And if it's a little bit unsteady, you might want to have something to stand on or lean against, or just put your hand out and touch. So put your prop on the floor, nice and rolled up, whatever you're going to use. And I'm going to have a back of the chair for myself, but you can put your mat or your towel, whatever you've got, next to a wall if you feel like you want that. And let's see, maybe I'll move that so you can. All right, so all you're going to do is just so simple. So we're just, think of this as, dishing up a plate of the most nourishing foods for your nervous system, right? But here we're feeding this part of ourselves. All right, all you're going to do is step up onto the prop, and you want to have the arch of your foot right over the, sort of at the curve of the mat or the prop. So your heel and your toe, you feel like the middle of your foot is really on the arch of the roller. And then just begin to sidestep. And sidestep slowly so that as you do so, each time you shift your weight, you allow your body time to fully take that in. And have your knees slightly bent if they're not. Just by slightly, I just mean not locked, right? So you sidestep to the end and bring your feet together. And then we're going to go back the other direction. So you just bring your weight onto the foot and lift the other one and sidestep over. Bring your weight then onto that foot. Breathing. Soft in your face, soft in your jaw. Nothing to do. Nothing to achieve. And we'll do that one more time, just going back to the other side. Letting your body relax into the feeling of the roller, letting your feet mold to the shape and get wide. Right? We're allowing your feet to be wide. Your toes relaxed as much as possible. And then go ahead and step off the mat once you've gone up and down or back and forth a couple of times, and just step onto the floor in standing. And take a moment to sense any differences that you feel in your arches, in your feet themselves, up through your legs. I'm just like, I'm a new person. And if you like, you can have a walk around the room and feel any changes. If there's any sense of, I don't know, more groundedness or buoyancy, how would you describe it for yourself? Maybe come up with a few words for yourself if you notice any differences. And this is one of those subtle but big. Okay, we're going to come back to the mat. And we're going to do the exact same movement, except this time what I want you to do is to put your heel onto the roller. So you're bringing your weight onto your heels and your forefoot is kind of hanging off the side, but you're not putting very much, if at any, weight on your forefoot. So almost all of your weight is coming onto your heels. And so find that placement of your feet and let yourself settle in. Now my feet are a little bit closer together than they would be normally just because my roller isn't very long, but that's fine. And then go ahead and start to sidestep. So bring your weight onto one leg and you lift the other foot, and very gently and slowly you bring your weight onto that foot. And you just feel this weight transfer and continue to actively invite your body to relax into the surface, the roller, whatever it is that you are walking on. And you just walk across, come to having your weight on both legs equally, and then retrace your steps back over to the other side. Right? And so each step is a journey in and of itself. Each step is an offering to your nervous system. And you can do that one more time. As you like, you can go slow. If you want to try, you can speed it up. You can have your eyes closed or open. And you're just feeling for the clarity of your heel, of your foot. And it's nice. Let it be nice. Let it be soothing. Okay, and then just go ahead and step off the roller. So you have both feet on the floor now. Back onto this flat surface. What is the difference for you? And then go ahead to walk a little bit around the room. See how you feel in walking. See how you feel bringing your weight side to side. How you feel your foot, right? Now, for some of you, waking up your body in this way, waking up, our feet and our ankles are something that are one of the most neglected parts of ourselves, typically. So waking some of this up, there might come some sensations that are unpleasant, right? Some of you, this might be just bright and nice and feel good. And some of you, it might be like, oh, that hurts a little bit. Oh, that hurts. And I want you to know that that is part of the kind of what you'd call the waking up or recovery process, that sometimes you pass through a little bit of discomfort on your way to regulating and being more in alignment and in balance and awake in your body. If it's very painful, then you might want to have a break because you don't want to practice the pain. You want to be able to move through it. And so if it's causing you to seize up or contract at all, then that would be an indication that it's time to breathe and have a pause. So let's come back to the roller one last time. And now we're going to do the same thing again, but this time we're going to put our forefoot on the mat. So our heels are hanging down. And on this, you might need to put a little bit of weight onto your heels, right? Now, if this is not possible for you, if it's really uncomfortable, then just come to the arch of your foot that's a little bit forward. So maybe not right in the middle, but just vary where you place your foot. I mean, in fact, all we're doing is something different than the first two times, right? This is the nourishment piece. We're just giving different information. So if it's not possible for you to have the forefoot on the roller and the heel down, then just do something that's a little bit different. And that would be absolutely wonderful. Different from the first two times. Okay, so whatever you're capable of, whatever you choose, go to that place and then start to walk, sidestepping to the other side of the roller. Allowing your body to sink into the floor with each step. Breathing. Yeah, think of each step as a bit of nourishment. And you don't know what it's going to feel like. You don't know what it has in store for you until you experience it. Feeling the weight of your body primarily through your forefoot, so the front pad, or if that's wherever you're feeling it. Just kind of defining in your mind's eye your foot, your feet, right? Feeling your feet. And remember, your joints are designed to bear weight. All of these joints down below, they require movement, and in particular, they require bearing weight in order to be fully functional and healthy. It's actually nourishing for your hip joints, your knees, and the joints in your feet and your ankles to bear weight, to have weight, and then release it, right? As you would in walking and moving. It's very, very good. Okay, and just allow your body to sink in, feeling your forefoot, and any bending that you need to make in your upper body to make that comfortable, that's fine. And then go ahead and step off your roller, come onto the floor. Again, flat surface, feel that. And remain there as long as you want to kind of savor anything, and then just have yourself a little walk around the room. And give yourself that experience of bringing your weight over in this way. And feel how your feet land, but also feel how they kind of propel you forward with each step. Do you feel any more clearly the surface or the area of the sole of your feet? Right? What about the toes now? If you were to describe any difference in your ability to sense your toes. And what about, let me ask you another question, the toes inside your foot. So you have the bones that you can see as toes if you were to look at your foot, but those bones actually extend into your forefoot. And you have those 5 bones in the front of your foot that you can't see necessarily just by looking at yourself. Do you feel that any more clearly? Especially as women, we often, whoever designs our shoes, if you've walked a lot in high heels, or you like those nice, cute little shoes, they really can squeeze those bones. And so if you are used to wearing shoes like that or have been in your life, this might be kind of like a revelation for your feet, the true width of your feet. So just feel that a little bit. Okay. All right. So I invite you to have a rest in whatever way you like. We've done a lot of standing, so maybe you feel like you want to sit down if you haven't done that already. And remember, as we go through any of these lessons, anytime that you're joining me, that I'm walking through this process, but you take what you want, you take what you need, and you leave what you don't. So you rest when you need to, right? And again, the guide for that is when you feel your body constricting itself or contracting, when you notice you're holding your breath and you can't move through that. If that's kind of overwhelming your attention, your concentration, then that's a sign to rest. Or if you just feel like it, that's another good reason. If you just feel like it, I think that's actually the best reason. All right. So if you feel compelled, I'd love to know if you sense any difference in yourself in sitting or in standing, if you're still standing. I feel like I want to continue moving a little bit, and maybe lie down in a minute. As with all of these lessons, it's great to be able to note down differences that you feel. So please feel free to type that into the chat. And like I said, if you are sensing maybe your feet feel nice, but elsewhere is tensing up, just give yourself a moment to rest in sitting. Allow your body that time that it needs to adjust, right? It takes time for things to integrate. It takes time for bread to bake in the oven, right? We don't expect it to happen right away. So allow that space for yourself. And I'd be really curious to hear how it goes for you. So you can let me know in the comments either now or later what you experienced. And as you go through your day, just see if this kind of filters into your consciousness. And you could play with this, you guys. So what we were doing was just giving some input, giving our nervous system some information to play with. So many times it's just a matter of our our nervous system kind of being a bit starved, without a very rich diet of information, and it just needs that information in that space of self-compassion, in that space of quiet attention, in order to make changes and start to regulate things in a better way. I noticed my posture correct and felt a burning in the foot end of my toes. It's a wonderful, actually, but I'm wanting to rest. Yeah. Tingling, sometimes burning when things wake up. Even just reading that, every time I read your guys' comments, I feel those feelings. So my toes just started to get that feeling, and as did my body, kind of release a bit of chemicals there to, I don't know, in response. So that's lovely. Thank you for sharing that. I love those. I love that. I love getting that from you guys. So please share with me anything that you feel. I love that. And it helps everybody as well, just to see all of the different kinds of reactions that people can have, and to know that it's all okay, and that any reaction or any experience that you do have is a moment, and there is a way through everything. There is always a way through. You're never stuck. So it can sometimes be so great just to write that out, get some feedback on it, and to know that it isn't static. It's never static. Okay. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me today. That's what I had to share with you. Like I said, it was short, sweet, and simple. You can do this anytime. Sometimes, if you want to do it while brushing your teeth, while cooking, you can put a cook. Once you're done reading the recipe, pop that cookbook on the floor and, stand, practice, or play with putting your weight on it and off it. Anything like that. Any way that you can bring that kind of variation into your body throughout the day is great. Okay, so thank you so much. It was wonderful to see you guys, and I will see you again soon. Let me know in the comments how this went for you, and I'll be back. Bye.